What's happening, peoples? I'm coming on today to see if anybody remembers this movie. It was titled SideKicks, starring Chuck Norris and a young man. His character's name was Barry Brzezinski in the movie. Um, I related a lot to Barry because, well, in the movie he was a chronic asthmatic, and growing up I had chronic asthma too. So I related to that. This was another movie that got me that really got me into martial arts too, because after I was watching Barry train and get better, it helped him deal with his asthma. Now, didn't happen for me for years later, but once I started doing martial arts, it actually did help with my asthma too, to the point where I don't need to use my inhaler hardly ever. I can't remember the last time I used it. It's been years since I needed to use it. But watching that movie, it was a movie about Barry. He was infatuated. He was like engulfed in Chuck Norris and everything Chuck Norris and all things Chuck Norris. The boy would have fantasies about doing stuff with Chuck Norris, like in the middle of the day. I'm like, that's a little obsessive, but I could understand it to a degree. But in the movie goes, he discovers martial arts through an old man who owns a restaurant. Discovers it through that. Ends up teaming with Chuck Norris, being one of his partners in the little tournament that they do. And one thing that happened, and I'm glossing over a lot of stuff, but that's just the premise of the movie here. Kid who's get picked on a lot because of his condition, overcomes the condition through martial arts, ends up doing a tournament where he gets to work with his idol, Chuck Norris. And while he in turn works with, gets to compete with Chuck Norris, he discovers new abilities within himself, that he can use his dreams to, live them out, because he feels like he's living them out now. And he was in a nunchuck competition. He, had a whole little dream sequence that someone who did nunchucks really well, then it flashes back and it's him, and he did that whole sequence. So, that feel good moment there. But all in all, I love that movie. It's super cheesy. It's 1992. What do you expect? But it's super cheesy movie, but I love it. Sidekicks. I wonder if you remember that movie too, had Chuck Norris in it, and he played himself, so he wasn't a character. Chuck Norris as Chuck Norris in that movie. So anyone else has seen Sidekicks, let me know.